and grand setting wherever you are in this big, wide, beautiful world. Tonight we're going to be talking about spiritually transmitted energies, STEs, and this is just such a very important subject for me because it's something that was never taught to me earlier on in my walk. And because it wasn't taught or shown how to protect myself or ground or keep myself free from energies, that I had to come up with my own daily practices. And it was a daunting task because I didn't know about the energies like I do now. And in a world where there is just so much happening, you kind of get a little bit lost in what to do and how to do it for yourself. You know, there's this, there's that, there's another technique, and you're like ripping your hair out going, what is right for me? And how do you know what is right for you? It's through trial and error, like everything. You know, you're learning something new. It's through trial and error. You know, when I first started out, it was the white bubble of protection. And as the frequencies and energies changed, then it went to a gold bubble of protection. And then there's the shielding, 12D shielding. Plus there's also this pillar of light. And it's hard to know what is right for you. And that's the thing. Nobody knows what's right for them until they actually try it for themselves. I remember a long time ago that I came across this meditation, and it was putting on a spiritual suit of armor. And putting on this spiritual suit of armor, you had to sit there and you had to visualize this, like a bodysuit kind of thing going over your body. You pull it up from the feet, you pull your legs into it, you pull your torso into it, you put your arms into it, and then you put this hood over you, and then you zipped it up. You zipped it all the way up over your face and everything like that. I was just like, what? I did it. It felt good for about 2 seconds, and it was like, yeah, not right for me. So I kept on looking for what was right for me. And throughout the journey, there's been so many different protections that have come through, but it's basically finding what's right for you. Nowadays, my protection is I have an inner shield now that I bring to life every morning. So that is my protection, and that suits me just fine. And when the frequency changes again, I'll find something else that resonates with that frequency for me right now. But back in the time when spirituality was not readily accessible as it is today, you couldn't. And being online, I didn't grow up in an era of computers, so I had no access to the internet until late 90s, I think it was. So in that time, um, I was going to spiritual churches, and they were teaching you grounding methods. And first, it started off with visualizing your cord going from your tailbone down into the earth, and it was going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, and it was hitting the lava mantle of Mother Earth, and it was like, this doesn't feel right. This is uncomfortable. It kind of hurt a bit for me, and trial and error. I don't know what else to say. Trial and error, mate. Um, and then came out the grounding with the roots through your feet, and making sure your feet are planted on Mother Earth and the roots are going down and they're going into the layers of the bedrock and all this, and it was going into a crystalline cave that felt awesome and amazing. And with it feeling awesome and amazing, I started to feel the exchange between Mother Earth and myself. So she was giving me lots of good love, lots of good vibrations, and she was taking my yuck, the energy that I couldn't get rid of. And over time, even that wasn't helping me to remain grounded into the earth. So I had to find different ways, and one of the things that came up was the Earth Star Chakra. Oh, your Earth Star Chakra is blocked. I was like, okay, where's that located? And they were like, it's about 6 to 15 inches underneath your feet. And the way I was shown to clear it when I learnt about this, pardon me, was visualizing a gold bomb. Now, I when I use a gold bomb, I visualize the old timey ones and the big black ball with the fuse, and I visualize that there, and it doesn't do any damage. So it doesn't do any damage because it is an energetic thing, not a physical thing. Sorry, pardon me. And I visualize it at my feet, and then I literally feel the explosion, and I can feel the Earth Star Chakra actually starting to clear. Okay, so how about we use that with the combination of grounding? So I did, and it added a whole new dimension to grounding, because by this stage we'd learnt about the diamond crystal heart of Mother Earth, and we were allowed to ground into her. So I started using that, and that was just feeling amazing. I don't know about you guys, but my feet are tingling right now, so I must have had a shock blocked chakras. So that's good for me too. I haven't checked today, but this is why it is so important, because when you're not looking after your energetic field, it becomes clogged like a sink, and then your energy centers start to slow down and don't function at the capacity that they're meant to. You know, the tried, true, and trusted methods of spiritual cleansing is water. And you can do this in the shower. It takes around about 9 minutes. And how I do it is I get a bowl of sea salt. I offer it up as a for being blessed. I take it into the shower with me. I put water into it and ask the water to be blessed. And then when the bowl is full, I don't tip it all out so that all the undiluted salt crystals come out as well. I tip it over so it starts to trickle and drizzle over my body. I will do that over the shoulders, the torso, the back, down the legs, under the arms, feet, hands, over the main energy centers in the body. And what this does, it actually moves out stagnant energy. And these energies you can get from anywhere and anyone, and it can come in a myriad of directions and different sources. You could be walking down the street, somebody's having a really bad day, and their aura's right out, and it's just taking up the whole sidewalk that you're walking down, or even the shopping centre. It makes no difference, okay? Yeah, the analogy is still the same, and that is that you walk through their aura and instantly you get a downer or you get a heavy heart and you start becoming heavy with energy, even though you've left the house and you're clean and you're cleansed and all the rest of it, and you've done all the positive vibes and everything like that. And you're like, what is going on? Why is this happening to me? It's no longer why is this happening to me. It's what do I need to learn from this? Do I need to make my spiritual hygiene, daily hygiene, more solid, believe in it more, trust in it more, have more faith in it? Start asking yourself the question as to why isn't my protection working? Why is my cleansing practices not working? Why is my grounding practices not working? Start asking yourself questions, and when you do, you're going to get the answers to all of those questions, and you don't need to seek advice from other people. You can have that for conversation, but in the end, you already know what it is. You just got to remember that within you hold the information. You just got to find the right question which holds the right key, which opens up the right door to this knowledge and information. If you've got a bath, you can do the same practice, but instead you light 4 candles, so you go east, south, west, north at the 4 corners, so east where the sun rises and north where the sun sets. And when you light the 4 candles, you go in a infinity direction. So you start at the east, you go to the west, you go to the south, you go to the north, and then you end up back in the east. When you do your salt, you do the same thing. You start at the east, you come down in the diagonal to the west, across to the south, up to the north, and going back into the east. And this is a spiritual cleanse bath. So what you do with the bath, which is a little different to the shower, is You get in the water for 1 minute, you soak. You get out of the water for 3 minutes, and you let that salt just take all the energies off and constantly just go through the aura, cleansing you of all the energies that have accumulated in your aura. So after the 3 minutes, you get back in the bath and lay down and soak for a minute again. While you're doing that, you attempt to keep your thoughts neutral. Because when you keep your thoughts neutral, you then have more of a chance of cleaning and not attaching to anything that's in the aura or engaging. Because then that's just holding on to something that you don't need. So there's the water method. That's for cleansing. You have your dry cleansing as well. Sorry, I've got to finish off the bath. So you're in for 1, out for 3, in for 1, out for 3. So there's your 8 minutes. Your last one, you're in for the minute. Then when you're finished, that minute, you step out of the bath, and as you step out of the bath, you pull the plug, and as you're pulling the plug, you pull the other foot out. And this helps the energy go down the drain. You dry off, you get into clean clothing, and you do whatever your nighttime routine is. Next, we move on to the dry cleansing. So you can use your herbs, your incense, a feather, a crystal, whatever you resonate with, and you just go through the aura, brushing off any energies, but making sure that when you do that, there is something to catch the energies out of the aura instead of flicking them into your space, because then they become trapped there into your personal space. What my personal favourite is I like to have a bonfire in my room. Not a literal one, a figurative one. So I imagine the violet flame is in my space that I'm doing this in. And as I'm doing it, I see all the energy going into the violet flame. You might hear a crackle, you might hear a pop, or you might not. It's your experience and it's your journey. Then when I feel like it's finished, I just dampen the violet flame and send it up out of my space back to Saint Germain. When I'm using herbs, I have a window open and I consciously put my intent in that the smoke from my cleansing goes out the window or out the door, or I'll do it outside, weather permitting. And then there's sound. You can use clapping. I used to teach this when I was doing meditation and development. We'd clap, move it around underneath your feet, behind your back, behind your head. Anywhere that you feel there might be energies hanging on, That's where you clap around your body. And what that does, it causes a vibration, and the vibration lifts and shifts and moves energy from your aura, not to another part of your aura, but out of your aura. Another popular one is music, drumming, flute, bowls, instruments. And when you put all this together, you then have started creating yourself a personal spiritual hygiene routine. And when you maintain it, so it's not just do it once and you never have to do it again, it's dedication and applying yourself to that daily practice. It's like breathing, it becomes a second nature to you. Because when you can do that, what it then starts to allow you to do is to understand that when an unhealthy energy is coming in, you are ready to block it and say, no, no permission, no access. I have said no, this is my boundary. But not only that, it also allows for you to have a clearer communication between yourself and your guides. Grounding is very, very important, and I cannot stress this one enough. The time for being outside of your body has done full circle now. It's time to come back into the body and ground in to your body, bringing your soul back in. Because when you do that, you then start to allow yourself to heal, if that is what you choose to do. But not only that, it also helps you to ground in the energies that you've collected from your trip in the light fandango and your teachings and learnings, and what you've gathered outside of yourself helps you to bring it and ground it into earth energies. One of a beautiful soul that has come and done meditations with me. She's here we go. Right. She was saying that she likes to be outside of herself because it's much easier to process and handle the world. So I'm not going to say her name because that is actually not what this podcast is all about, naming and shaming anybody. All right, we all have our rights to our own thoughts and how we do our journey, our walk, our path, our road. So I just responded with, so she goes, only ever from embracing what I love the most, the spiritual, leaving this body to explore the outer realms. How can that not bring colour to this life? And my response was, however, at some stage, earth must be kissed with the gentle landing of feet to ground into your body, which is the process now. And Most of what we incur or perceive as an attack or psychic misconduct actually comes from when we're outside of our body because we're not protecting ourselves. And I'm not saying this to put fear out there. I'm saying this to bring awareness because it took me a long time to understand this for myself, let alone teach it to other people, that out there was easier access to my energy, which left me drained. Some days it left me really, really sick. Some days was just so exhausted that I couldn't get out of bed. And it started to give me physical problems in the actual physical world because I couldn't keep my hygiene up. And didn't know about my hygiene and the practices. And because when you practice something for a long time, you come to a point in your life or your journey, your walk, your path, your road, your trail, whatever it is for you, that you master these things because you've gone from the foundation to the walls, so the floor, the walls, the ceiling, the roof, and then you've gone above the roof. And that's where we all want to be, but building up those foundations, you've actually been able to give yourself what you need to understand what is happening with you. Not to you, with you. So, my dear, I'm having a giggle because as I come to the end of my show, my network has now started to play up. So, I just think that's really funny. I'm so grateful that it stayed stable through this podcast, and I'm just finding it funny that it's now come to the end of the podcast, and my network wants to become unstable. Pardon me. So just remember, when you talk to yourself, when you learn what is right for you, what is not right for you, you can move on to the next stage of your evolution. And this is how it works, is that you start from the ground up. See, I wanted to stay, once upon a time, I actually wanted to stay out in the ethers and the astrals. I didn't want to be in my body. But I eventually realised that if I wasn't safe in my own body and I wasn't safe out there, where was I going to be safe? So I had to make the choice, and I did. And I'm pretty sure I made the right choice. Actually, I'm damn sure I made the right choice. That coming back to me, my heart, and my love, and coming back to my home, which is my own body, has been the best decision that I have ever made. Grand setting, star blossoms, or grand rising, wherever you are in this big, wide, beautiful world we call Earth. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining in. And I wish you an amazing evening or an amazing day wherever you are. And I will be back next week. And I love yous. Have an amazing week. Mwah. Good night.